The story of Moses is one of the most significant and detailed accounts in the Bible. It spans from his miraculous birth to his leadership in delivering the Israelites from slavery in Egypt and leading them toward the Promised Land. The story is found primarily in the books of Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. Moses was born at a time when the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. Pharaoh, fearing the growing population of the Israelites, decreed that all newborn Hebrew boys must be thrown into the Nile River. Moses' mother, Jochebed, defied this order and hid her son for 3 months. When she could no longer hide him, she placed him in a basket made of reeds and set it afloat on the Nile. The basket was found by Pharaoh's daughter, who took pity on the baby and decided to adopt him. Moses' sister Miriam, who had been watching nearby, offered to find a nurse for the baby. She brought Jochebed, allowing Moses' own mother to care for him during his early years. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's palace, raised as an Egyptian prince. However, he always felt connected to his Hebrew heritage. One day, when he was grown, Moses witnessed an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. In anger, Moses killed the Egyptian and hid his body in the sand. When Pharaoh learned of the incident, he sought to kill Moses. Fearing for his life, Moses fled to the land of Midian. In Midian, Moses settled down and married Zipporah, the daughter of Jethro, a Midianite priest. He became a shepherd, tending his father-in-law's flocks. One day, while tending sheep near Mount Horeb, Sinai, Moses saw a bush that was on fire but not consumed by the flames. Curious, he approached it. From the burning bush, God called out to Moses, saying, "Moses, Moses!" Moses responded, "Here I am." God revealed his plan to deliver the Israelites from slavery and told Moses that he had chosen him to lead the people out of Egypt. Moses, feeling inadequate, protested, saying he was not eloquent and lacked authority. God reassured him, saying, "I will be with you." He also gave Moses signs to perform, such as turning his staff into a snake and making his hand leprous, to demonstrate God's power. When Moses still hesitated, God appointed his brother Aaron to assist him as a spokesperson. Moses returned to Egypt and, with Aaron's help, confronted Pharaoh with God's command, "Let my people go, so that they may worship me." Pharaoh refused, and God sent a series of 10 plagues upon Egypt to show his power and compel Pharaoh to release the Israelites. These plagues included turning the Nile River into blood, infestations of frogs, gnats, and flies, the death of livestock, boils, hail, locusts, darkness, and finally the death of the firstborn in every Egyptian household. The final plague, the death of the firstborn, was devastating. God instructed the Israelites to sacrifice a lamb and smear its blood on their doorposts so that the angel of death would pass over their homes. This event became known as the first Passover. Pharaoh, grieving the loss of his own son, finally allowed the Israelites to leave. Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt in what is known as the Exodus. God guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. When Pharaoh changed his mind and pursued them with his army, the Israelites found themselves trapped between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's forces. At God's command, Moses stretched out his staff, and the sea parted, allowing the Israelites to cross on dry ground. When the Egyptians followed, the waters returned, drowning Pharaoh's army. In the wilderness, the Israelites faced numerous challenges. They complained about a lack of food and water, and God provided manna, quail, and water from a rock to sustain them. At Mount Sinai, God gave Moses the 10 Commandments, laws to guide the Israelites in their covenant relationship with him. Moses spent 40 days and nights on the mountain, during which God gave him additional laws and instructions for building the tabernacle, a portable place of worship. When Moses descended from the mountain, he found the Israelites worshiping a golden calf they had made in his absence. In anger, Moses smashed the tablets of the 10 Commandments. He interceded for the people, pleading with God to forgive their sin. God renewed his covenant, and Moses received a second set of stone tablets. Moses continued to lead the Israelites through the wilderness for 40 years. During this time, the people often rebelled against God and Moses, leading to periods of judgment and discipline. Despite their struggles, God remained faithful to his promise to bring them to the Promised Land. Toward the end of his life, Moses climbed Mount Nebo, where God showed him the Promised Land from a distance. However, because of an earlier act of disobedience, striking a rock to produce water instead of speaking to it as God had instructed, Moses was not allowed to enter the land himself. Moses died on Mount Nebo at the age of 120, and God himself buried him in an unknown location. Moses' legacy as a prophet, lawgiver, and leader is unparalleled in the Bible. He is remembered for his unwavering faith in God, his role in delivering the Israelites from slavery, and his intercession on their behalf. His life story serves as a powerful testament to God's faithfulness, the importance of obedience, and the transformative power of faith.